Hi, I'm John Spatz, the Executive Director of the Nebraska Association of School Boards.
My name is Lynn. I'm Executive Director of the League of Nebraska Municipalities.
Hi, my name is John Cannon. I'm the Executive Director of the Nebraska Association of County Officials. If your school district, city, or county is required to participate in the joint public hearing, we wanted to share a few helpful suggestions as you prepare. Once you know you are required to participate in the hearing, you need to find out which other political subdivisions are required to be there as well and coordinate with them. Let the public know this is not a hearing to discuss valuations.
You'll want to communicate with each other and work out some of the details of the joint public hearing.
On the night of the hearing, here are a few things you'll need to consider with the people presenting during the hearing. First, you want to ensure that the meeting space is large enough to accommodate the public. Make sure you have the new check-in sheet. Make sure that you have the technology, if possible, or applicable handouts to support and allow for the presentations to be effective.
Once you know who's required to be at the public hearing, you will need to designate somebody to help facilitate that meeting and explain to the public at the very beginning of the meeting what the expectations are. Amongst the things you need to communicate at the very beginning, you need to introduce everybody. You need to explain the purpose of the meeting. You should explain that this is not a meeting to discuss valuations. You should ask the public to maintain civility. You'll want to ask the public to identify themselves, their address, and which school district they're in. And a reminder that one member of the political subdivision's board must be present, but that person may not be the person to do the presentation.
You may also want to explain how this joint public hearing is different than the hearings you have on your budget and tax asking. For those interested in the details of your budget, your spending, and your tax asking, these are other hearings that may be more appropriate for your attendance.
And of course, that would include the budget hearing. First and foremost, your budget hearing. New to the law this year is the requirement that at least one member of the governing body must be present at the hearing, as John Spatz said just a few minutes ago. That person needs to be in the room, not necessarily on the panel. However, you may include a statement saying that a quorum of the governing body may be present, but this will not constitute a meeting under the Open Meetings Act, and no business, of course, may be conducted by the boards as part of the hearing.
Someone from your political subdivision will be required to give a brief presentation on its property tax request. State statute lists several requirements on what is to be included in the presentation. However, you should use this time to share with the public some details of your budget that helped inform the decision on your tax request. Be sure to tell your story, because if you don't, someone else will.
State law does require that any member of the public may be allowed to speak at the meeting. Prior to the meeting, you need to have a conversation about how you facilitate this part of the meeting. Amongst the things you'll need to discuss are who's going to moderate. You need to ask for a showing of hands how many people plan to participate. Discuss how much time you're going to give each speaker and if each individual speaker will be allowed to speak one time. Decide if you're going to answer questions from the public, and if you do, how will that be facilitated?
The most important thing you can do is to let the public know what the rules are in advance and what is expected. If you decide to give each speaker, for example, 3 minutes to speak, or 2 minutes, whatever time you select, the facilitator will need to enforce this for every speaker.
If you have any questions, please contact your association. We are here to help you in any way. Thank you for your willingness to serve on your local board or council.